And that is what this is about. And I'll be using this deck. Hi, how are you? How are you? It's been bloody full moon last night. Lots of purging. We've been purging for for the past 2 days. Has been some intense purging for the past 2 days. It's not really that intense because we've kind of gotten used to this kind of stuff for like the past 2 years. When you first started doing this stuff, when you first started to step into your authentic self, stepping out of your spiritual closet, when you first have your spiritual awakening, whatever you call it, enlightenment, paradigm shift, and timeline jumping. And there can be many terms for that, but honestly, these exact words really don't matter to me. But you know what I'm saying, because we've been through a lot of these stuff. When you first started it everything felt so intense and like it's just like so crazy, like signs from the universe and like, oh my god, spirits are real, out of body, and all that kind of stuff is exciting and is also scary at the same time. But because we were being thrown. We were being thrown many lessons and struggles and tests, whatever you call that, by the universe for the past 2 fucking years. It started off with COVID, right? And it hasn't even stopped for a second. Okay, like, how the hell are we even able to have that many solar eclipses and lunar eclipses within 1 year? It's just like unheard of. Like, is this even like make sense? Like, I just remember we just freaking we had like a solar eclipse like last month, and we're like literally having eclipses every fucking month. You know what I'm saying? For the past 2 fucking years. And like, does this even make sense? And like back in the days, and people were like, big deal, eclipses are a big deal, like, not anymore. Mercury retrogrades right now. Venus retrograde. And all the planets are aligning. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I'm like, I lost track as like a solar flares, not even mentioning that. And like, why the hell? Like, nothing makes sense anymore. And so right now we're kind of like sailing the water smooth. Like, because, okay, like, this is a good example. I always use a roller coaster as an example because it's almost like if you go to this amusement park and you've been on the scariest ride, like if you've been on like the worst ride, and everything after that, it's just like you don't feel nothing. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. If you've been through some of the hardest lessons, some of the hardest struggles, some of the hardest awakenings, some of the hardest shadow works, some of the hardest hit fucking truth bombs, some of the worst rebirths you ever had, and it's like you've been on that worst ride, but the worst is also the most thrilling, right? When I say worst, it's not like in a bad way, like worst, but like so thrilling, it's so crazy, it's so intense, in all the good ways and bad ways, and included, good and bad included, all the good ways and bad ways included. Hi, Midlight Purple. Nice seeing you. Beautiful day, yep. And so once you've been through the worst, and then everything else, now it was just kind of like, oh, solar eclipse, full moon, new moon, Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, whatever. It was just kind of like, didn't feel it, That's how I felt. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, for the past 2 days in the past, including last night, we were still doing some heavy purging. You might notice some past memories, old friends revisiting your memories, and you'll be thinking of like a random old friends, a random ex. Will you be dreaming about them? Like, that's me last night. And you're like, why? But that's what happened, because we're so used to it now. Like, you're like, okay, I know what's happening. We're just purging. And as you notice, some of you are new here, I changed my hair color. And every time I go to these shifts, I just tend to want to look different. I just feel different. And I just gravitate toward different things. And I just like really want it black. I want black color. I want to change my bedsheet black. I don't know why. I can't explain it. But every time this happens, I just have different tastes of food, of aesthetic, and like it just is. And you're constantly giving birth to a new version of yourself, and honor that, celebrate that. Exciting, it is supposed to be exciting. Exactly. Midlife Purple. Exactly, Purple Angel. Motivated by creative flow and shifts. But the red and orange cut in my hair is kind of like also reminding me of that sacral and what is it called? I lost word. The base chakra. There's a lot of passions, a lot of these creative energy, fire in the air. What am I gonna do with that? I'm gonna do something with that, right? So, hi Seraphim. So another thing is, hey alien, I've got this deck, this really like flashy deck, like bro, I don't know, like the energy has been like flashy, like I want to be boom, like I want to like in your fucking face, and like look at these fucking cards, they're like shiny and they're like gold. Is it too much? I don't fucking care. Like you know what I mean? Like this is how I'm feeling right now. Like I don't care. Like I gotta do me, and I haven't started using this deck ever since last week. I think it was during this live that I was doing, and I never feel right using it. If finally, sometimes this is how like I have like, I don't know, like 30 decks of oracles and tarots. They're kind of like, let's see if you can see it. That is like the little card, and like it's like stacked all over. And sometimes I just feel called to use a certain deck for a while, and then stop using that, and now switch to a different deck for a while. You know exactly what I'm saying. And you start understanding your own pattern, understanding yourself, understanding your own energy, and that's what it is. And I'm like, how? I think something new is popping on, like this gold and red and like flashy, I was not like this before. Like I didn't really, because I feel like that is also really symbolic, very symbolic. Honestly, I was, because I'm always brutally honest with you guys. I share my journey as this every step along the way. I share with you. I have no issues exposing my fucking self to you guys. I gotta say that I used to be more reserved, and I didn't want to be like so bold. I don't want to wear bright colors. I don't want to come off too strong, and I try to hold myself back, and I like try to not like say things too deep. Not try things too deep, because people are fucking deep because they're like and I was like I was like talking about a little better. Let's talk about like what color do you like, and like bro, I try not to talk about like these witchy stuff and like like alien stuff, and like, but you know how I feel. It's just like I can't hold back. Like what? Forget it. I just ain't interested in the normal conversation. It was like let's talk about deep stuff. Let's talk about shadow works. Let's talk about this like crazy stuff. So, of course, it's symbolic. How I used to be dimming myself and trying to water it down so that people can digest me, but no fucking way not anymore. I'm not watering myself down anymore. And it's like, you know what? Fuck red. I need a new deck a lot. Definitely Venus in every second house. That's interesting. So, yeah. Exactly. You know. Being authentic self is a journey. It's a fucking journey. Here's why. It's just like when I start thinking like, oh, I'm being myself. No, I'm so happy. And then you go do another fucking rebirth and I'm like, wait a second. I think I misunderstood myself. I think there's something more. And then you have to face the shadows, the darker aspect of your fear. And I've been thinking about this a lot because that's my strength and that's what I want to share with you guys. That's what like most of my content is around is strength, is this rebirth ideas, these warrior spirit kind of ideas, because that's what I'm best doing. that's like what I'm like so good at doing. Is that the fact that I always go where I fear. I'm like shit, and I'm like shit that scares me. Yeah, I mean, but that thing I'm talking about, the scary aspect of me myself, like I remember 2 years ago, the scariest thing for me is actually being in the spotlight. And I remember when I was in high school, the scariest thing for me was public speaking. I don't know, maybe public speaking is a very common fear for a lot of people. And I'm savage like that. Like, if I'm scared of something, I go there. I go where I'm fucking scared. And like, okay, if I'm scared of speech, I will stand in front of people and I try to I do what I fear. It's almost like I gotta get on that roller coaster, front row seat, but I'm scared. I'm scared as fuck, but I still do it. That's my strength, and that's how we keep having these rebirths again and again and again and again and again. And it's not about before stepping into the fear or after stepping into the fear, or it's more like the whole trip. Before going in, when you're in it, and after you come out. So listen, the whole fucking ride isn't about that peak nor that bottom pit. It's the whole fucking ride. You know, that's the point. It's the whole fucking ride. It's not the beginning, it's not the end, it's not just the beginning, not the end, or it's not just the result. It is a fucking ride. That's the whole point. You go on that roller coaster, bro. You don't go on the roller coaster just that you get to the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, and that's why it's funny, because then you'll be going on the ride again and again and again. You're like, I'm going on another ride. I'm going to go on that ride. I'm going to go on that ride. I'm going to go on that ride. And you have this little trip. You know, it's the whole trip, you know? But here's the thing. If you stop yourself even before taking the ride, you ain't going no fucking where. You just stand right there and watching other people on the ride and enjoying the ride. Then you're just standing there and watching, not going nowhere. You know, well, the choice is yours. You know, I respect everyone's choice. Some people are just so scared, you know. It's just like, it's fine. It's I mean, no one can force you to choose. No one can force you to do anything. Even Source, divine, the highest power, the universe, has to respect your choice. What are you going to choose? Because you are a sovereign being. You are the universe. And that's why if you want to choose to stand still and not do anything, and the universe might as well have to respect that. So at the end of the day, no one can be forced to do anything, but that's why the universe sending inspiration around and like, hey, this is cool, you know what, you just gotta try it, let's go, guidance, hint, 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 wink, wink, wink from the universe, let's do it. But at the end of the day, the choice is still yours. No one can take that choice away. Not even the highest power, not even the universe, not even the divine can take that choice away. And if people choose to suffer over and over and over and over and over and over again, that is still a choice. And that is still a choice. 242. 243. 43 is my number. Because I'm born on April 3rd. Shit, my birthday is coming up. Alright, so here we are. 5 of Cups reverse. See? 5 of Cups reverse. Very nice. 5 of Cups reverse. We are leaving all of the disappointment behind, baby. We're leaving all of the disappointment behind. I see it. I know. There's been so much disappointments all around. In every fucking aspect of your life. In people, in places, in environment. Even in your fucking spirit guides. I mean, yo. We've been there. I'm like, at some point, I was fucking disappointed in my ancestor. And like, I was having a fight with them. I was like, don't come to me, don't talk to me. Fuck you. I was like, stop. At some point, I'm good now. I'm like, fine now. I'm like, okay, if you need to come, I know you have tough love for me, and like, we have healthy boundaries, all right? You can tell me what to do, but, that kind of stuff, but, all right, oh, you've done that too? Okay, I'm not the only one. I knew it. I knew it. You just have to, crash out sometimes. It's just totally fine. But here's the thing. We are moving away from disappointments all around. Moving forward. And now, now we're good. I'm good with my ancestor spirits. And I'm like, but I have strong boundaries now. Because I'm like, yeah, sure, you're spirit guides and you're like, things and you see things, but like, we still gotta respect each other. I still have to have my, and that's things. Like, even if a lot of you guys do the same, similar work as I do, medium, channeler, or you do cards and like you do, crystals, healing, whatever. Not only that you need healthy boundaries with real people here, but you do need healthy boundaries with spirits. Yeah. All part of the process. Almost happy birthday. Thank you, Midlife Purple. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm gonna do for my birthday, but I don't want to think about it. Like, it's not even that important for me because I don't know. So now we have a new understanding, having stronger boundaries in place. And now I'm going to be like, come at me when you're being helpful, please. Don't come at me with nonsense. Come at me with helpful, with constructive informations. And that's my energetic boundaries. And if I'm receiving an energy message from someone that is like useless, like, what am I going to do with this piece of information, bro? Like, I know you're in pain, you're suffering, but you chose to do that. You're not helping yourself. Like, I can't help you with that shit. So, please, I only accept constructive, useful informations. Whoever needed help and wanted help, but not someone who's like, if you're going to come at me with, like, useless, energetic informations, and you just want to mess things around, then don't come at me, alright? Because I'll cut you off. Yeah? Right? Exactly. So that is a new version of us. Be proud. We come so far. Honor that. Honor the process that I was looking. Okay, so this is another funny thing. I was looking at my phone and I was trying to upload a story or a video, and then And it turns out that I couldn't do that because the storage was full. And I'm being forced to delete a lot of videos and photos. And I'm just like, it makes fucking sense because the phone wouldn't eclipse, and it all of that is forcing me to purge things, like. And I was looking at the old photos and old video, and I was looking at myself, and I'm like, I cannot even recognize myself. And I was like looking at the old friends, old things I used to do, like past memories start popping up, and I'm just processing them. I'm just like delete. I've been deleting a lot of stuff. Detach. Now I kind of understand, not like kind of understand, but now I see things from a person who have healthy boundaries. And sometimes I have to look at myself. I'm like, in like past relationships or friendships, and I do see myself being a little bit overgiving, and that kind of disgusts me in a good way. I'm like, I ain't doing that shit. No, I ain't. No, I'm not gonna smear my love in people's face. I'm not. Like, I don't want people to do that to me, because I've come into a healthy state of being where I have healthy boundaries, and I'm like, and I see that. I didn't see that before. I'm like, I do not want to be like that. Just, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, you see, like, some people, like, they're, like, so caring. They're, like, a little bit too much, to a point they're like, you're making me uncomfortable. You're over in my face. And I'm like, I used to do that. And I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that no more. Just, not that I have no guilt, I have no regrets, and I love the past version of myself. I understand and see all aspects of my past self with unconditional love and tough love at the same time. But now I just, like, I have clarity. Like, I see it. I see why people push people away, like, if people coming from an unhealed place, they're not comfortable with people doing that. I'm so grateful for this lesson, to be honest. I'm like, recovering empath. Yeah. Aw, you see, the stars reversed. Alright. Stars reverse. And this is all in the past. This is all in the past, baby. Alright? Disappointments and the lack of motivations, trying to find hope in the world, trying to find it outside of us. Well, the thing about people-pleasing tendency is because we want it back. We want it. The thing is, the reason why we do that, we give and give, is to hope that people give us. I understand that. And the hard, cruel truth is, the more we give, the more we won't get it back. Yeah, it just, it is a brutal truth bomb. And, yeah. What am I going to say to that? And we have to learn that in the hard way sometimes. Sometimes we have to learn it in the hard way. But it's okay. Because it's all in the past. And that's why I was like, scrolling through my photos and my videos. And you come across two type of people who will take everything that you give for granted, And then you also see people who pushes you away. So that's two type of people. The narcissist will take everything for granted because they take. So they will be attracted to people like empaths who like overgives, and they'll like automatically attract to people like that. And there's another type of people who will pushes you away, is the people who have strong boundaries. And I'm like, that makes me uncomfortable. I am gonna move myself away. So you will see those two type of people, and then you never get the same energy back, is because that is the dynamic. You never get any fucking thing back from a narcissistic person, because all they do is take. Yeah, they don't have their own life force resources, their source of life force energy, so they have to reach out and to get it from other people. And that's why they always take. For people who have strong boundary, who have their own source, who is grounded in themselves, who has strong boundaries, understands that. And not that they understand that on like a logical level, but they understand it on an energetic level. That's just how they operate. It's natural to them. And so they don't need it from other people. And that's why they're like, when people are trying to force that energy onto them, like, I want to give it to you. And I'm like, bro, bitch, you don't need to do that, because I have my own light. Give it to yourself. And that's why these people have strong boundary. And then when you overgive to these people, they will push you away, and they will just, and they will like kind of tell you about it, that when people push you away, that's the language of boundary. And like and now that I am on the other side of the coin, I understand. I've been on both sides of the fence, and both sides, and I'm like, that's why these people repel each other, right? And it makes sense. And when you come to an understanding that you're seeking from the outside, so on the outside, people with overgiver and who are people pleaser kind of tendency, they too tends to seek sources outside of themselves by giving. And then narcissists are just the opposite. They seek the source outside of themselves by taking. But in fact, they are attracted to each other for a reason, because they are the same. I'm sorry, but it's a hard fact. I've been there, right? I have been there. I know. I have been there before. They're both, one is the giving, one is the taking, but they're both seeking an outside source for their life force energy, for their inspiration, for their purpose, for their hope. They're seeking outside. One is by taking. One is by giving. Either way, but they are a matching frequency. Sadly. Right? And when you start to understand the lessons within that, right? There's lessons within that. And you start seeing the truth. Just like Adam. Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then when you evolve to a point where you have healthy boundaries, and then you will start meeting other people who have healthy boundaries, and they will feel comfortable. People who have healthy boundaries feels comfortable with other people who have healthy boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Same idea. And then you're lining with the right people. And because it really didn't make sense in the past for me. I mean, I'm like, wait, so these people are so loving, they're so empathic, and why are they always attracting these like shitty ass people in their life? And now I understand. Like, it's not personal, it's scientific. It's quantum science, bro. It's nothing personal at all. Because narcissists and people pleaser, they are the same way. They're seeking outside forces. But when you have a strong boundaries, you have your own light, you have your own source, you're never jealous, or you never dim your light You know who you are. You stand strong in who you are. So you never expect other people to give you, but you also don't have the need to give to other people. You know what I'm saying? So then only when you need to, of course, only when you interact and you're like, oh, we have healthy exchange of energy, all right? I give, but not overgive. And then we have these beautiful dances, with people who have their own source. And that's why these people who have healthy boundaries, they come together and they do these dances and interactions and beautifully work together without developing a toxic, codependent relationships with each other, because they have strong boundaries. And I'm like, I need my space, they need their space, and like, okay, we're good. And when we're ready to come out to hang out again, and because this is the friendship dynamic that I find myself super comfortable with. Like I have been a little mad scientist and analyzing things, and like this is the conclusion. And I'm gonna have to upload this video, super important, on YouTube afterward. And so this other friend that I have been reflecting, and I have been examining myself here. I'm dissecting myself, bro. Like, I'm telling you this is like because I've been doing it, right? Oh yeah, Midlife Purple. Yeah, thank you for that. And so this friend that I have, I feel really comfortable with him because I feel like I can be myself. I don't have to like, are you okay? Like, I don't have to like constantly like ask, and I'll just like, yeah, we just exist. And sometimes I need my space. We don't talk for weeks. And sometimes it's like, hey, what's up? And then we're all good, we're all good. We have like, we don't need to text every day kind of stuff. We don't have to like tell each other everything, we'll share whatever we want to share, and then we'll take our space, we respect each other's space, and all that stuff, and it's like, this is good. Like, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable. And that's when I see the reflections when you around you, people around you, the type of it. It's kind of like you have to pop out from your consciousness in a third person perspective and kind of observe yourself a little bit, and then you will see that, and I'm like, yeah, I get it, So I've have like a bunch of these different friendships, and people that I date too, and like also lessons, and I see the dynamic that I'm involved in, and I see my own toxic patterns. as well. Because if you're a loving person, if you're a sensitive person, empathic person, it does not mean that you're not toxic. Codependent is toxic. It doesn't mean. So, I know the narcissist has been taking the blame. and now I'm coming back, and I'm saying this because now I look at myself in the past. I'm like, I was toxic. I'm sorry. I was overgiving, and that's toxic, because people pleasing was toxic. I was doing that. It's manipulative too. It doesn't matter. The intention behind it is good. Like, I just love people. I just wanted to help them. I can't help it. But now looking back at myself, I'm just like, yeah. But you have to respect other people's choice. Like, if people don't want to be helped, like, you have to respect their boundary. You have to respect that, And I'm like, yeah, what if, like, I'm not respected like that? What if I am like no, So examining myself, that's what I'm saying. If something hurts, like, this is my shadows, that's what I'm really good at. I go in what's deep and dark and just like, scary, but yeah, but it's all right. That's healthy judgment. That's healthy reflections. And that's why it was so important to me. All right. Three of Swords reversed. We have and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Oh my goodness. This is a lot to release, a lot to let go. By understanding this, and people misunderstand the idea of healing, because healing is also the same. It's not outside of you, it's inside of you. It's kind of like coming to an understanding. It's a paradigm shift. It's a paradigm shift. It's a perspective change. It's a rebirth process, transformation process, allowing yourself to change, allowing yourself to detach from the identity that you give yourself, from the story that you tell yourself. The fact that you have to awaken to the fact that that doesn't have to be you. It doesn't have to be one way. Me, next month, you'll see a different person. In 2 weeks, you'll see a different person. You have to be able to detach from that constant identity that you create for yourself. And be okay and kind of like, yeah, I don't always have to be the good person. I love being a bitch. No, that's just speaking from my perspective. That's me. That's how I am right now. So, I want to avoid taking care of me. Oh, yeah, exactly. You were avoiding taking care of yourself. Yeah. Start doing that. Once you start finding that source within you, you will know. Everything will ripple out. Everything will ripple out. No, everything seems like bad luck. I know, when you're in that painful state of being. And it doesn't matter how hard you try to be positive, how hard you try to be the light, how hard you try to be the love, how much you remind yourself that you are the love. But then something inside of you just quite don't click. Because you've felt so abused, you felt so hurt, and it's not going away. The only fucking thing that will go away is to have a crash out. Oh, and owning up to it. And just cut that shit out and like, yes, I was fucking hurt. Admit it, and admit the fact that you weren't okay with that. Why were you justifying your pain? Just to, no, it was not okay. That is not okay. Now, why do I have to take it? Not in the way that you're victimizing yourself. Like, why does it happen to me? You know, admitting the fact that you allow it to happen to you is just killing yourself in a way. Killing your identity, killing your old self. Well, that's what happened. That's what I'm so good at doing. Spiritual savage, baby. Oh, and then you, oh yeah, that's what rebirth is. Pull a fucking bandage off. Don't try to heal it. Don't try to like pull it off. Let it fucking bleed. I know it sounds really hardcore. I know, but death is not scary. It's not. It's beautiful. Transformation is beautiful. Spiritual death is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And you will feel something inside of you finally being released and just, yeah. Crash out. And sometimes that's why I always have those crash out with people. And I'm done. I'm out. Fuck you. I have crash out with my spirit guides. I have crash out with my friends. I have crash out with my relationships. And once I have the crash out, and that's why we're in like a crash out culture right now. It make fucking sense. Because why are you holding that shit in? Why are you holding that shit in is, you know. it's gonna become a cancer and it's gonna kill you anyway. So it's gonna kill you. It's gonna kill you either way. So might as well. I'm just gonna do it myself, and instead of like fucking waste my time, I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just gonna do it myself. Yeah. Cancer moon is hard. I have a Capricorn moon. I know. Like Cancer moon. Yeah. Capricorn moon is like, being indecisive. That's the point. You're being indecisive. Being indecisive. One foot in the past, one foot in the future. In the middle. And this is only one way. I come on this live and there's only one way. Get on the roller coaster, get on the front seat, face it forward. Get it right at where it hurts the most. Get it right at where it hurts the most. Get it right at where it is the most scary. Other than that, you're just not doing anything. Thank you, Algo Doggo Games, for the gift. Thank you for the gift. Yeah. You got it. Face what upsets you the most. It's almost like, you know, so here's the thing. You know, like when something like annoys you or upsets you so much, and it's just like keep happening. You know, it's like sometimes with people, sometimes with work, sometimes with your own pattern, your habits, you know. And then to a point that it keep repeating, and at some point you're going to crash out. You're going to like, you know what? I'm sick of it. You know what? I have to look at this shit. Like, okay, what am I going to have to do? Like, I will do fucking anything to look at this and get this. You know, like, bro, how much longer are you going to suffer until you come to that point, the snapping point, where you're going to finally look at it? And you're like, you know what? Leave me the fuck alone. Yeah. And then you're going to have to come at it. That is when spiritual awakening happens. Well, in order to have a spiritual awakening, you have to be completely naked, like that. Yeah. Stripped away everything that's in the way and just like get on. You have to be so real with yourself. So real with yourself. That is like a metaphor. Like so real with yourself. Have you like, it's kind of like mirror work. Like all of us have to do mirror work sometime. You look in the mirror, you get so naked, and you look at every spot of yourself, like nothing. And then you look at every spot of yourself, like, oh wow, I'm looking at it straight in my face now. I'm like, oh, you know, it's not as bad as I think it is, actually. I've been avoiding it for a while, but now I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's not too bad, you know. No, I see it. All right. I see all the good and the bad. I see all the flaws. All right. Okay. Get real. You know? Mirror work is a thing. Mirror work is a thing. So, it's a metaphor as well, right? Because what I'm saying is mirror work is just like one aspect of it. But what it really is to look at your subconscious and to go deep in with yourself and look at all of that patterns and habits and things and just look at yourself and just like give a hard fucking ass look at yourself and like, whew, you know, oh yeah. And then that's when the awakening happened. Yeah. Yo. honestly, you know, awakening is a spiritual awakening is really interesting because it can come in so many different forms, and then it depends. It's like so different for everyone, and sometimes it's like oh, sometimes it's like brutal, sometimes it's like scary, sometimes it's like thrilling. It's like oh, I don't know which turn. It's like it's so interesting. It's not just one specific way. And of course, it depends on what type of soul you are, what type of person you are. Your spiritual awakening is tailored to you, and so you are supposed to enjoy it. It's just like the last life I was talking about. It's enjoy that spiritual awakening trip. Mine was really interesting. Mine was definitely a whole fucking trip. Like, first 2 days was high as fuck. I felt like I was floating. I was happy doing nothing. It was like, and then 2 weeks after that, I started plumbing into the shadow works. And I'm like, and then months after that, I started plumbing into like healing work. I would start purging. And I'm like, shit, why is there pain in my body? Pain here, pain there. And then months after that, I've been having nightmares after nightmares, and then months after that, I've been seeing spirits coming to me, and I've been like, and honestly, it has been so much fun and thrill. Like, sometimes it's like there's good and bad. It's like happy, exhilarating. Some moments are like, oh, I'm so grateful, I'm crying, it's beautiful. And then another day you're like, fuck you. That's like me. That's my spiritual awakening. And like, for real. Yeah. You get so real. You're being forced to be so real. You have to be, that's it. 313. Alright, so this is really cool stuff. This is a really, really important message. I will definitely upload this on YouTube because, yeah. And I feel like a lot of people haven't been catching my live. Thing is, though, it's a little hard because I have to apologize because I'm really inconsistent with my schedule and time because, when you do this kind of stuff, it's just like, I don't know, I just like few calls a certain time. But also, I don't apologize. I don't feel sorry. I'm like, I gotta take care of myself first. I'm setting a good example for you guys. I'm not gonna show up if I'm like drained. That's the thing. Yep. Examining myself right in front of you. But thank you, Seraphim, for understanding. I know my people will understand me. And so, if I can upload it on YouTube, and so, yep. The flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long. Lao Tzu is my favorite. My favorite of all times. I still have 2 books. Dao De Jing, 2 books. Temperance Reversed. Yeah. Take all of your time. Take your sweet time. Take your sweet space to do whatever is good for you, all right? Whatever the temperance, all right? To get everything together, and it's okay. No rush at all. Take your time. Again, it's not about the beginning. It's not about the end. It's about the whole journey. You have to make this whole journey to be as enjoyable as possible. And honestly, no one can do that but you. No one can do that for me but myself. No one can do that for you but you. You are the only one. You are the one that you've been looking for, baby. You are the one that you've been seeking for this whole time. You are the one that you've been longing for. Divine union is you. Divine union is you and you. No, I don't take that lightly. Not at all. Alright. Thank you, Seraphim. I appreciate that. That's exactly how I feel. Yeah. Alright, the message is complete. And I hope you all enjoyed it. I enjoyed it myself. And I'm sending you love and peace. Go enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.